So as Generosity Week is upon us, we're seeking as a parish to discover what the word generosity really means to us as followers of Jesus. So we can often think about giving our loose change to the beggar or person on the street, or being nice to people that we meet, volunteering to help because we have a bit of free time on our hands. But the kind of generosity we want to look at over the coming weeks is more than generosity from our excess, from what we have left over, a bit of time on our hands, money or resources, but actually giving from our real substance, from our very being, which means from our reserves, from our very selves, some of our patience, some of our real time. And over the next 4 Sundays, we'll be looking at our attitudes. Are we generous? Are we generous as individuals, as a church, with the way that we tolerate others, the way we speak to each other or deal with each other? Are we generous with our time, helping where the church or others need help, doing things that make us a little bit uncomfortable? Do we give money from our very substance because we want to show how important our faith is, rather than feeling it's just a tax and something we just need to do because we're part of a church, but something we really want to do to show our worth? They're all questions that we will be looking at over the month of June. So please do join us this generous June. Come with open hearts and minds, ready to be transformed as the people and the church God wants us to be. So may God bless and keep you over these 4 weeks as we share some of these ideas together. And in a few moments, I'm going to ask Jeanette, who's our treasurer, who's going to share with you some thoughts as well from her angle, from our finance too. So may you be blessed this day and every day.
Hi, my name's Jeanette Waters, and some of you will already know me, some of you may not. I've been treasurer for the last 2 years, but previously, some 20 years ago, I was your treasurer again. And wow, have things changed since then. For starters, we now have an amazing finance team, and that helps to carry out the enormous job of keeping tabs on parish finances and making sure that everything works like clockwork. So thank you to them. I feel that giving is a decision for the individual and their conscience, not for me to tell them what to do. But what I can do is to give you the facts so that you can make an informed decision. And that's the reason why I'm talking to you today. Like most of the world, we in Morpeth Parish are in a crisis. And whilst our giving has remained pretty static over the last 4 years, our costs have gone up by more than a third. Our heating bills have jumped from £10,000 a year to almost £30,000. It's such a large figure, it feels difficult to actually understand it. How can you spend £30,000 on heating? And frankly, we've been unable to sustain this. Last year, we had the deficit of £12,000, and we simply couldn't afford to pay all our bills. Due to the generosity of the diocese, we paid £12,000 less to our parish share to help us keep going. This, however, has impacted on the diocese, and they have a deficit of nearly £300,000. Let's move to this year. We're looking at £30,000 as a deficit for this year, even bigger than we had last year. And what I'm asking everyone in the parish is to see whether they can consider giving more, or perhaps if they're not already using the PGS parish giving scheme, to actually pay into that and start doing that now. We have 200 members on the parish on our electoral roll. That's great. But when you look at the number of regular givers, there's only 80 using PGS. Now, if everyone on the electoral roll gave even a small amount by the parish giving scheme, we would be able to close the gap. So I'm making a heartfelt plea to you. Could you help your parish meet its obligations and cover the costs? We could allow the parish to rely on the diocese again, but that will mean that our deficit will impact poorer churches and communities, as the diocese will have to withdraw support in other areas due to lack of resources and finance. And that is not acceptable. It's terrible. It simply isn't fair. So would you be willing to make a difference? And if so, could you let me know? If you would, then you can email me at the parish office, or you can talk to me at church, or you can ring me on the phone, 511 820, so that I can include your gift. It might be a one-off, or it might be in the parish giving scheme, PGS, towards reducing this year's deficit. If we could raise our giving by 15%, we would be halfway there. So please do consider supporting the work of the church and its mission to this community. And I do want to mention a heartfelt thanks to those people who came to me after the APCM promising additional funds, which we've already seen in the parish. And as soon as we've got the promises from all of you, I'll report on how we're doing. So God bless, and thank you for listening. Details of this month's generous giving and how to join the parish giving scheme can be found on the website, or please do get in contact with Dave Pope, who is our planned giving officer. Thank you.